Good evening, race fans, and welcome out to the virtual Concord Motor Speedway for tonight's running of the Concord Weekly Series here, brought to you by the Big Ten Super Series here at the Concord Motorsports Park, brought to you by RS Button Boxes. My name is Upstate Al. We are glad to bring you all tonight's racing action, but Roger Mood unable to make the call down here tonight for the Concord Speedway, feeling a bit under the weather, so we wish him a hopefully speedy recovery there, but tonight's racing action going to be a good one with 60 laps of action at the halfway point of the season. After tonight, 3 races are down, 2 races remain in the Big Ten Super Series Concord Weekly Racing Series. Last week, let's take a look at that information once again. Last week, it was Mark Heatman picking up the win there in last week's feature event over David Landry and Kyle O'Daniel. And I can tell you right now that 2 of those 3 drivers are not in the pit area here tonight. Devin Landry is going to come, actually all 3 of those. I do not see Devin Landry as well out there on the racetrack. So they came in as your top 2 drivers and points, separated by 5 points. Devin Landry is your current points leader over Mark Heatman. RS Center comes into the night standing in the 3rd spot, 35 points behind Devin Landry. But with them not showing up here tonight, we will have most likely a new points leader leaving tonight. 60 laps. This is no pit tires in the pits, and it is a cool 65 degrees and with overcast skies here tonight. Going to be lots of grip around this tricky triangle of the Concord Motorsports Park. We want to welcome you all for watching here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We are looking forward to this great race. The warm-up is going to be just wrapping up here momentarily. And we can tell you that RS Center in that number 110 is fastest so far here tonight in practice hot laps. Tom Scully in car number 5. The second week is Jeremy Little in that RS button box number 55. Sits 3rd on the speed chart. And while we got a minute, we want to take and thank the Big Ten Super Series for being a part of our family here in the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we hope that you out there have liked or subscribed to our channel so you get notifications every time we go live here tonight for the Big Ten Super Series. We also want to thank the guys over at RS Button Boxes. You got to get dialed up, get your cars dialed in during the race. Well, the RS Button Boxes is what will get that done for you, and they need to do that as well. Taking a look, also we want to thank Karma Salon and Day Spa. Well, Roger, maybe he doesn't feel good. We'll send him to the Karma Salon and Day Spa. He'll get spoofed up for next week, and he'll be back guns a-blazing next week. And we also want to thank Johnson Chassis Work, the official chassis work here for the Big Ten Super Series, along with everybody else that makes it possible here tonight. So right now we're going to come back here, and we are back live. This is your starting lineup here tonight for our 60-lap main event. This is what the starting lineup will look like. Starting on tonight's pole, in car number 5, that is Tom Scully outside ahead. In car number 1, the driver of the Zab Motorsports RPM Brian Clausen, sponsor number 1. This is Harold Rothery. Rusty Modesty in that Sinclair number 6 will roll off on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him will be the Bob's Pet Solution. Car number 31. The driver is Brad Carpenter, and that is car number 31. Slated to roll off in the 5th position. The driver number 110. That is RS Center with Frank. The Bank Energy on that as well. Outside of him will be the RS button box number 55 of Jeremy Little. And shotgun slated to start on to the field will be number 24 of Josh Cole. Well, just like that, we are ready to go green flag racing. The field will roll down here in the turn number 3. We are going to go green flag racing. 60 laps at you. It'll be green flag this time off turn number 4. Green flag. Down at the turn number 1. Out front, he gets underneath Rothery. Rothery going to slam the door shut on Modesty. And it goes back to the side. overall. Looks like RS Center having some electrical issues as Tom Scully shows the front of this one. Modesty in spot number 2. Hill Rothby settles into that third spot, some 2 seconds behind our race leader here. Just working lap number 3, gonna put lap 4 into the books. Side by side, battle back here from this spot. Jeremy goes to the inside. He'll pass the number 31 of Jeremy Carter. Up back to the front on the big spot. Onboard camera. With 5 cars left out on the racetrack, he'll fall in behind number 31 of Brad Carpenter. Ball chasing the number 5 by Tom Scully. Scully out there out front. Scully having some electrical issues. He's back on the racetrack as well, but he had a little bit of there that's caused our camera. 9 laps in, working lap number 10. They work down here. Jeremy Little up to that third spot. A little bit of distance between himself and the 31 of Carpenter. Carpenter, one of those wily old veterans, only has 50 more laps to get up to the front. Can he reel them in? Some 2 seconds behind. Is number 6 of Rusty Modesty, and that's Sinclair, number 6. And I don't know about you folks, but that number 6 beautifully prepared looking race car. Always love the Sinclair race cars. Brad Carpenter gone around here on the front stretch. He'll get it pointed back in the right direction. We stay green. The tough break to the 31 of Carpenter. Tom Scully over turn number 1. This is a very quick track to get around. And Concord sad we lost it in the real world, but it'll live on forever right here on the sim. Just like that. Lap 15. Spot number 2. Spot number 3 goes to Jeremy Little. 4th belongs to Kevin Coffrey. And Brad Carpenter also rounding out the top 5. He had high hopes in gaining some ground here tonight. RS Center out early, Cole unable to make the call. During practice had some electrical issues on that number 24. The team unable to get it up and headed back to the shop. Scully out on the front of this one, some 2.7 seconds in front of the number 6 of Modesty. Modesty working down here in turn number 1 as well, trying to find a faster way around the racetrack. About a 10th off our race leader per lap so far. 18 in the books. Lap 19 is going to close in on 40 laps to go. Scully showing the way there to work down the back stretch. Modesty, we're watching him work around there. That's the RS button box. Meet chunk number 55 of Jeremy Little. Little trying to close in on the runner-up spot. Let's go on board and watch the driver. The RS button box on board camera. Jeremy Little, running Greenville, South Carolina. This car has been fast since week 100. working lap 26. This one's going to go by in a blink of an eye, folks. Don't miss it. The battle going to start shaping up is for this one right here. It is the battle for that number 2 spot. Who's going to end up with the runner-up position as they come in the screen? Modesty has it, and Little really starting to close the gap on that race for the number 2 position. Modesty under a second now in front of the driver of the number 55 with Jeremy Little. Little runs in that 3rd position, up 3 spots. He's trying to get that hard charger award here tonight. They can find out who's going to be the Johnson Chassis Driver Award here as well. And right now, your Carmen Salon and Day Spa hard charger of the race so far as we close in on the halfway point is the 55 of Jeremy Little. Tom Scully runs out on the front of this one as he runs 3.5 seconds in front of the driver who runs second. That is Modesty. We'll go back and watch this battle. It is starting to shape up here. Jeremy Little takes a peek down to the side. Back to the dog leg. He closes the gap a little bit more. That gap down to about 3 car lengths. Now making 5 as they enter turn number 1. Little trying to get into that number 2 spot and would hope for a yellow flag to erase the deficit that they are behind Tom Scully. That time by Modesty faster than your race leader by just 4 100ths of a second. Something happened in the Tom Scully. Scully is slowed here on turn number 1. He really missed the corner. Starting to feel out the race car is the number 5 of Scully. Had an issue 1 lap to go. Close the gap down underneath 3 seconds now. We don't know what happened to Scully. Do not see any damage on that number 5. Just see Modesty at the top of your screen again. He's now a straightaway lead over that battle for the 2nd position. Back here, Jeremy Little trying to still close in. Can he make it happen? Jeremy Little here, 24 laps ago, make it 23 across the stretch. A little bit of right front damage on that number 55. You saw it just a moment ago. A little bit of right front damage on that number 7, or the 55. Really starting to close in now on the backside of Modesty. Carpenter runs in the 4th spot. Harold Rothry out for top 5. Tough break. Got 1 lap in, and electrical issues brings the 110 behind pit wall. Josh Cole runs there in the 7th spot. Did not make the start, so tough break for those 2 drivers. And Scully still putting it on there, but the battle is starting to really shape up for spot number 2. Best battle on the racetrack. We'll see if the 55 of Little can make it down through turns. The short, you see him gain a little bit now. Within 2 car lengths, make it a car length now. Off of turn number 3 down the front stretch. We go on board. The Carmen Salon takes the on-board camera looking out the back. Rusty Modesty doing a great job. Holding on to that 2nd spot so far. And hold on to the advances of the number 55 of Little. 17 to go, and now Little there. He takes a picture, tuck it back up in line. Didn't quite have the drive off turn number 3. standings 9th overall. Week number 1, he finished 10th. Last week finished 4th. Now trying to cut it in half once again to get into the top 2 here tonight. It will be his first podium of the evening, of the season. As I said earlier on in the broadcast, this is race number 3, the halfway point of the Big Ten Super Series Weekend Series. We got a bid for second. Down in the turn, one they come, it'll be Little to the inside. He gets a little bit loose, has to chase from the back of the car. That allows Modesty the power back by on the outside. 13 to go, this time at the stripe. Modesty with a little bit of breathing room now. Little opens it up into turn number 1. Trying to cut that gap back down, half a second separated those two riders. Meanwhile, Tom Scully out on the front of this one. Brad Carpenter runs to his spot number 4, and Osprey rounds out for top 5. That traffic dead ahead of your race leaders. They enter turn number 3. Scully doesn't have to really push the issue with 11 laps to go, and a 3.4 second lead over the rest of the field. Modesty runs in spot number 2. Third is Jeremy Little, Carpenter, and Harold. That is your 5-car running field. That time behind, Bernie the Flagman gave the high 5 times 2. 10 laps to go. This time off turn number 2. It'll be 9 laps to go. This one is a quick one here tonight. Season here for the Big Ten, or the next race will be next week. 80 laps there before the finale on 10-10. 150 lap double points on the line in 2 weeks' time as we crack open the month of October. Scully trying to find the way around Modesty, around the number 1 around me. Haven't been quite that one out yet. Jeremy Little though, starting to take a beat down to the side. 7 circuits around the Concord Motorsports Park for these two drivers, trying to figure out who's going to finish second. Modesty with a good backstretch. He'll pull it open now. Little trying to work the outside of the racetrack, keep that momentum, some more ground to the driver, and their count closing in on your race leader, who has just gotten by the round number 1 of Rothbury. So Rothbury able to get by as well. Here as he is down 1 lap to your race leader of Scully. Modesty and Little still battle out. Little takes a peek down to the inside once again. In here in the turn number 3. Great battle down here. Little down on the apron, gets the car out of shape. Modesty's going to put the power down and pull away with just under 5 laps to go. 5 to go. Make it 3 to go now for Tom Scully as he has been in control. Modesty runs there and third. Carpenter and Rothbury. That rounds out your running order here tonight. Popsicle sticks are up, 2 laps to go. As we watch this battle for the Will Little able to get by him. Little trying to make it down to the inside, can't quite clear that time. He'll work to the outside of that Sinclair. Number 6, but the white flag is up. Final trip around the speedway for the Rangoon Motorsports. Number 5. Working down through the dog leg, back into turn number 3. He'll kiss the outside concrete, gets a little bit out of shape, but he'll keep it pointed in the right direction. Winner of week number 3 is going to be Tom Scully. Back into the battle for second. It'll be Modesty holding off Jeremy Little. Brad Carpenter will come home 4th, and rounding out your running order will be the number 1 of Rothbury. And that is how tonight's feature event will come to a close. As Tom Scully is going to pull it down here on the front stretch. He'll pick up tonight's feature event win. And in 3 weeks, we've had 3 different winners in the weekly Concord Motorsports Park Racing Series presented by RS Button Boxes. Scully going to burn it down here in turn number 1. And we want to thank Edwards Setup Shops for providing all of the setups here for this fixed series at the Concord Motorsports Park. And Scully burns it down here on the front stretch. He'll park it, and as he does that, we'll head to break. We'll be right back with our post-race show presented by RS Button Boxes.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back here to the Concord Motorsports Park, where week 3 of the RS Button Box Big Ten Super Series Weekly Concord Series has just concluded. And picking up the win is the driver of that number 5. We saw him fast all night long. We're down here on the front stretch, caught up with that driver, and that driver is none other than Tom Scully. And Tom, you had a great race started on the pole here tonight, and you didn't look back. Talk us through this race here tonight. 60 laps is a short one, but a very challenging one in itself.
Yeah, well, luckily, he got out front and green to check it, so nobody caused any caution, so didn't have any time to, make up any ground on anybody else. So those guys were battling for second, and it's that time to get away.
Talk about this through your third week here. Tonight, the weather very, very cool, overcast, a lot of grip on this racetrack. Last week we saw the track very difficult, very hot, very over 140 degrees temperature-wise. How difficult is it to come in here week in and week out on a difficult track in itself but able to come in and pull out the win, becoming our third different winner this season in previous time.
Oh, I mean, it was definitely a faster track tonight. I mean, last week I got into the back of a guy and I got parked for the night, but got over that and just figured to keep my nose clean tonight, so it was pretty fast. I think if we got a caution there, it would have been different, but really I didn't, to worry about that.
Well, you come out with that win, as we alluded to here. It's got to feel good knowing you can do that. Last week, like you said, that's behind us, and that's done and over with. We got 2 more weeks here tonight, or after tonight in the month of October. We got an 80-lapper next week and then a 150-lap season finale. What's it going to take to keep climbing the ladder here and maybe park this number 5 in Victor Lane next week?
Oh, luckily, I mean, tonight we had a couple of the top guys out, so probably picked up a couple of points on them. Hopefully we'll get a decent invert and get start on the inside, maybe get another top 3.
And you, sir, are in charge of how many times that RS Button Box invert wheel will spin. How many times would you like that wheel to go around for next week's invert number?
Let's do 4.
4, you heard it there, folks. 4 will be how many times that wheel gets spun before we find out how many cars will be invert tonight. Pretty sure at that time you're going to be looking for that number 1, so that way you get to start pulling next week.
That'd be pretty cool, but have a few guys back next week, and it might be difficult to hold them back.
Definitely will be. Before we let you go, we'll roll out the red carpet and let you thank those that made it all possible to get you in Victory Lane here tonight.
Well, I mean, use Ryan Kuhn's Motorsports Setup Shop, and those guys make a pretty fast setup, but there's a fixed setup here, so happy to put them on the car.
Well, there you go. That's tonight's feature event winner. We'll see you back in 1 week's time. Next week, right here, same place, same time. But congratulations on your win here tonight, Tom.
Yep, thanks.
All right, we'll move down the line here and come into the driver that comes home in that number 2 spot. And we talked about him for a while here tonight, having a spirited battle with the 55 of Jeremy Little. That's none other than the number 6 of Rusty Modesty. And Rusty come home second, but you had to be looking out that front of that mirror as you in the closing stages, closing in on Tom, but also out the back as Jeremy Little was really putting the pressure to this number 6.
Yeah, sadly, towards the middle of the race there, I was gaining time on Tom and losing time on Jeremy, so I had to really turn my focus to the mirror from about halfway on.
This race, though, went by very quick. 60 laps, very short distance here tonight. And you got up there. You started in the 3rd position, was able to get into 2nd. Then you had a gap there and kind of feeling it out. How different was this racetrack here tonight compared to the first 2 weeks of racing?
I mean, compared to specifically last week, this was one of the more fun events I've had at this track. Just super grippy. Car could pretty much go wherever you wanted it to go, compared to last week where it was turn the wheel and send a hope and prayer out.
Last week, definitely. I think Roger was looking for some bacon last week. Not sure that the bacon would cook on tonight's racetrack, but definitely making it difficult for you guys out here. And I would say difficult, but it's fun. It's got to be fun to come into this racetrack. You come in week in and week out, but it's not the same. Every week the weather's different. You have different setups underneath these race
Sincerely.
cars. So
yeah, it has been a bigger change in the way you drive the car than what I ever thought it would be. The way the track feels each week has been completely different. And then going down to the limited number of laps and things like that, we knew tonight was going to be go as fast as you can because it's a short one. So it's good to see the different strategies play out too.
Well, you definitely come home in that number 2 spot. Going to pick up some spots in the championship standings. 2 weeks remain. An 80 lapper next week, and in the season finale, 150 lap double point night. What are you looking forward out of the rest of this season, and hopefully maybe get up 1 spot more and get you this car in Victory Lane?
Yeah, the invert was a big deal. Gaining track positions early can be key. Trying to stay out of the rigmarole middle field back. Also we had a few good competitors. They couldn't be here tonight, so hopefully those guys come back and we get a good invert, and I'm sure it'll make for a pretty entertaining race.
Definitely going to be a very entertaining race 1 week from now. But well, we got you here. We'll let you thank those that make it all possible for this number 6 to be here week in and week out. And the mic is yours.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting. Been on a great show. Thanks to the Big Ten Super Series. I've ran several special events with them. This is the first league I've ran with them. They always do a stellar job. Thanks to teammate Harold Rothery. Me and him running several leagues together. Good teammate, good guy to keep you patient. So, and just thanks for the family for letting me do this.
Well, congratulations on that runner-up spot here, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks. Take care.
That is your driver of that number 6, finishing in that runner-up spot here tonight, and we'll slide down 1 position to that 3rd position. First time on the podium this season, though. It's the boss man of the Big Ten Super Series presented by Orange Button Bosses. That's Jeremy Little. And Jeremy, you ran him down. You threw everything but the kitchen sink at him. What else did you need to get out of this 55 to get by the number 6 of Modesty?
Well, I mean, clearly they should just pull over and let me by, I think. No, it's a tough place to pass. It is hard. I wanted to get by Rusty and see if I could run down Tom. He had built a pretty significant lead while I was working through the traffic back, but just a great battle for lap after lap with Rusty. And it's just so hard to pass here, and especially pass clean. And that's what that's how we're going to race. The guys in this league race that way, and there's no other way. And without using the bumper, it's just hard to get around somebody. Had a couple opportunities going into 1. Kind of changed up the line coming through turn 3 and getting good runs down the front stretch, and had a couple opportunities going to 1, but just could not make it stick. And that's about your only chance here, is to get that run coming off of turn 1 and carry it through 2 and all the way down to 3 and get the inside. But it was a fun battle, and I certainly I didn't leave anything on the table. I gave it all I had. Rusty did a great job holding it off.
Well, the good news is you don't have to go back to South Carolina and put a new front clip on the car that you had to do week number 1. But since you guys have put this car back together, this thing's been lightning fast. A 4th last week, a 3rd this week. If you keep this up, you're going to get that 2nd next week, and possibly on championship double point night could end up in victory lane.
Yeah, we had a rough first week. Had a fast car, and driver error got into the wall and tore it up and finished several laps down. But was hoping for that 10-car invert draw the first week, and we got 2. And then this week had a good finish last week and got a big invert and started at the back. So we're not the biggest fan of the invert right now, and I don't know who made up that rule, but I think it was me. So we'll ride with it. But it's been fun, and I feel like maybe I've passed more cars in the league this year than anyone. I just keep starting the back. We'll hopefully fix that next week, and I'm thinking a 3 on the spin this week would be a good number to get that invert next week, get that pole. And I mean, we've seen so far this year that's the last 2 weeks your pole winner is held to win the race. It's just that hard to pass here.
Well, you're going to walk out with the Karma Salon a Hard Charger Award here tonight on 3 spots, so a little bit extra to put back into your race program for next week, and then, well, we'll see what happens. But Jeremy, before we let you go here tonight, who makes it all possible for you in this 55 team to get here week in and week out?
Well, I've certainly got to thank my team at Triple L Motorsports. Chris and Jimmy and those guys do a great job helping out with the league and helping with the team. RS Button Boxes, they do season 2, so got to thank all those guys. It's been this wouldn't be possible without them. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast, doing an awesome job each week, and I want to thank the drivers. I know we had several couldn't make it this week, and so hopefully we'll have a little bigger field next week. But thank these guys for giving up their Sunday nights to come out and have some fun with us, and we'll see what we can do next week in 80 laps.
That is definitely the key here, and it's always a good time to come out with the Big Ten Super Series, and Well, 2 weeks. It's hard to believe that tonight is the halfway point, but congratulations on your first podium of the season. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week, and until then, keep it wheels down, and, well, we'll see you in 1 week's time.
I think, yeah, we'll see you next week.
That's Jeremy Little, the driver of the 55, finishing in that third position here tonight. And that will round out our RS Button Box post-race shows. We look down high above the racetrack as we take a look at tonight's results after leaving tonight's feature event, and it was Tom Scully picking up the win, finishing second. Rusty Modesty, who had a great battle with the man we just talked to, Jeremy Little. Brad Carpenter will finish in that fourth position. Then it was the number 5 of Harold Rothery, RF Center, and Josh Cole rounding out your field tonight. We'll see what the invert will be in 1 week's time. But until then, we hope to see you all back here next Sunday night at the Concord Motorsports Park. For Roger Muth and everybody at the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Al Smith, and it's been a pleasure to bring you tonight's racing action. We will see you in 1 week's time next Sunday night, 80 laps of distance. Until then, keep it wheels down, and we'll see you at the races.